This is gym bedroom on Clubhouse. So I guess I will start over here. Pretty simple. You are bringing wall denial. You want to make sure you or your teammate shoot this first, because if you're tricking and they throw a nade through here and just blows up everything, will get everything off the wall. You can't play it. This fire on the ground, maybe it even kills you. So shoot that first. Bandit Arcade, try and trick this a little bit, try and keep them stall for time. Save it one for when you back up to play this right here. Make it so they have to clear the Cade or the Bandit off of this as well, because if they get it open, this is where you're playing. And if they get this open, well, you have nowhere to play. So you are kind of dead, kind of a free kill. I'd like to preference that I'm not going to recommend castle off the rip, because with a coordinated team, you don't need the castle barricade right here in this doorway to keep your trick safe. A Cade trick is definitely safer because you can like throw your Cade and then quickly pick it up and then back up. So I'd recommend that first, but if you are bandit tricking, it's still doable. The reason why it is still safe is because you will have someone sitting in CC to contest your windows, so no one will be able to pressure them. And even if they don't even have to fight it, they can just shoot out and miss. They're gonna have to look over here. They can't afford to look away to look at you tricking if someone's playing this window. So you should be pretty safe to do it, to play off of that. I'm going to shoot this down below just because I don't like it. Okay. So that is definitely going to be where someone plays, but I would take Bandit or Cade here, depending on what's banned. And I guess that will work this direction as well. If Azami's up, you will be playing Azami here. If Azami isn't up, I would take Castle. Again, you could do that door and then just do your 3 windows across, because this player is in charge of basically everything up across the windows, all the way from weight rack, all the way over to bed, to site rotate, all the way over to in con. This is all what they are in charge of. So Azami here just to like dance around those a lot. Azami specifically for playing off this weight rack is actually really good. You get a lot of angles, like throwing one here and throwing one here on the other side allows you to peek and get way more aggressive. I should talk about this reinforcement just so people understand why that one specifically. The reason is so when they're like out over here, they don't just get line of sight straight into sight. Or if they're playing on window, they can't see the rotate to gold. So that is why you have that reinforcement. It's 1 over from your rotate. So that is why that is there. Also, I did this wrong. Your rotate should be almost dead center. The reason being is you want to be protected from the window, but you also want to be protected from the window. If that's the edge of the window right here, and you're right here, well, then obviously that's the edge of the window. Full window is visible towards you. So you want to rotate like right over here to just minimize the actual visibility they have on you. You can just run through really quick, and now you should be safe to play right here. Should be blocked off, so it should go somewhere in the middle here. You shouldn't really just be like standing in the rotate, because again, like, they'll get angles on you if they open this up. It's more to just pass through and play off of. Azami can also give you some Azamis over here to help with the windows as you run through. So there's some good Azami spots over here. Just even putting one right here on the back of this couch to make it taller is like a really good one that allows you to play off stuff. But I recommend a trap up here. Luzi is really good. That'd be first option, backup Denari, because you can cover a lot of gaps. You can put Maluzis on your central stairs, your main stairs here. You can put some for the drop here. You can put some for your window jumping / rotate right here. So you'll know if any of that's happening, and you can play your last one if you have time over on red stairs. So you know people are walking up red stairs. So I would recommend Maluzi first, Denari if not. There's actually some Denari tech where you just throw like all of your Denaris around a hatch, and it's actually surprisingly good. So you could mess around with that, or you could just make a whole Denari setup from like here and like across to here, so no one can just walk up your main and like stuff like that. I think there's some not mistaken, that go like under this desk here to like back under this desk over here, so they can't shoot either of them from up top, and then they drop and they can't get across those without like shoot off time to deal with them. Kind of drop and just get stuck. There's that with the Denari tech over here. You're gonna have someone playing on the stairs. Clash was really good on these stairs specifically just because of how you're able to place it on this platform. So if you want to take a clash, this would be a great clash spot. You can call over for your team to help if you see someone, if you're not comfortable just placing and fighting off of your clash shield. So that's a really good option. So I guess if you have your wall denial, your Malusi, your Azami, your clash, or a smoke, because you can put your barb on the stairs, right? There, double up on your barb, so you can play off of it. You can use that, and then just start smoking to stall for time. This spot you really don't want to give up. This is like power position. You can kind of play here to die, stall for as much time as you can, and then just play your life. You need to get out, you can book it for the rotate. I guess that's your preference. The reason the rotate is here is because if they do take stairs, you don't want them just giving angles into construction, but also if they take CC and your red player is still up, you don't want them just to see you on the stairs here, so you have a little lip of protection to keep the CC door from being able to see you a little bit, so that's why it's a little ways over, gives you a little more cover to play off of. And then I would take like Rooney actually playing in CC to contest the windows. Contesting the windows is really good, so I'd put a Rooney on that. So I guess a little recap is a smoke, a Rooney, and then this whole line you're going to have an Azami ideally, you're going to have a Malusi playing on this side of the map in logistics. Standing like right here. Patch drop is usually pretty good. You could also play tucked right here. I know it seems really unsafe with the hatch, but the only place they can actually from is right over here, and you kind of have a way more advantageous gunfight right like this. It's actually surprisingly hard for someone to kill you right here. So if you are feeling aggressive, then you just take that gunfight. If you're trying to play more safe, then I would just kind of dance around this area. Maybe ask a zombie to give you an Azami for like this bed, or you could put an Azami right here to stick out a little more, give you more workaround. So like kind of work with your zombie play to figure out what you need. Should be there to help. Your wall denial obviously is going to play for the trick, and then to back up over here. If it is a bandit, I would do 1, 2, pocket 1, 3, and then trick with the 3, save 1 for this so they can't get it, and then obviously Cade cycle them, but make sure you get away with 1 on you. So you throw 1 for this to make them have to clear that too in order to kill you. You die there, it's fine. Like if you start getting it open, obviously try and just like get aggressive on the windows and like back out, play like top main or something like this position right here. You gotta be careful of your window, but like once you're pushed out of this position, just get aggressive, even if you die, or you could just fall off like over here and tuck. But just you don't really have any safe spot to play, so if you get a pick before you die, or like the stalling for time with both walls should be like enough to help. So I don't know, it's totally fine if you die. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. You're kind of really contesting this area. This isn't really like a fallout position, this is like a hold position. So, because you want to be able to contest these windows, you have this rotate here to get back to site really easily. They hit site. Like if you're holding these windows and no one's getting windows, and like they're flooding breach right now, then obviously you don't have to worry about your windows. You just saw it, no one's here, then boom, you're back to site. So that's why it's so important to play this. As you can see, I reinforced this right wall right here. I reinforced both outside walls. I reinforced both cache walls, just so you have a place in here to play that's safe from breach. This angle right here, if you open up this corner, if you have like a running punch or you just through the DMR, will let you see to the bottom of the stairs. It will also let you see anyone walking through the garage. So that is why I put those holes there. Maybe you play around with that. This one gives you really good audio on people pushing in garage. You'll hear like all this audio that I'm making right now. If you have this open, you just gotta be careful of them like throwing stuff up and over. And this full hole right here is a nice little touch. They might just like stuff their face in it, but you just look and kill them if they do that. But what it does is when they're playing here and they're like dancing around, they're just fighting a guy in red. If you're over there and you see toes and you have a DMR, it's like 60 damage off their HP just like that. So I mean, like, that's why I have that there. It's a little bit of pressure. Maybe you catch them off guard with that. Maybe you catch them as they're crossing, you do some damage there. If you do get a tag into them, I would calm that to like a smoke over here, and smoke can just throw a smoke at the window, and that'll force them off of it, and that will do some damage as well. And obviously, if a DMR, maybe force them back into it, and you can get a kill that way. If not, they have to like jump over to get out of there really quickly, and then they have to start from scratch. So yeah, just apply pressure that way. I would probably take smoke there first before clash, unless you're really confident you're a clash player. I think smoke is better just to hold with the shotgun. You have two things of barbed wire to play off of. The first one, you can low-key let them smack. Warden is also really good here, just because if they start like nades, maybe flashing or running up, Warden, you can counter that. So, some options. Yeah, your cache and CC player with this rotate right here. If you know no one's on the windows, like check your CC window first, and if you know no one's playing in here, then you are totally free just to contest the drop with your DMR. So if a Rooney's banned, take the tube. You can stall this wall being opened. Tube's really good for that. You get an extra 30-ish seconds just from your 3 tubes. You can contest the drop over here. I don't know. That's pretty much bedroom. It is probably the best setup in this current meta. There's just a lot of things you got to be worried about, like flooding breach, flooding window jumps, or like someone creeping up main. You got to be careful for. Then you got to be careful. Like the most normal thing is for them just to push from east to west and just take this first. If you're like forced to give it up, give it up. But ideally, like your players are just holding, forcing them to go elsewhere or like to the death. I'm not mad at someone on the side of the map dying if it's like a minute into the round and they're finally like getting through there and everything else when they're pushing. I'm not mad at that. It's totally fine. But that is how to hold the upstairs. This right here, you could shoot early if you think you'll be having to come back through it and you're worried about them planting and shooting as you go through. Or maybe they're pushing that side and you want to fall off and be able to use that against them. So I guess just figure out where they're pushing. If they're pushing like heavy west, I would shoot it so they don't use it against you. And if it's heavy east, then use it against them pretty much. But that is what I would do here. Aloha.